A previously off-the-record conversation with the late president is coming to light, giving us a glimpse into Carter's thoughts about UAPs.
Well, I put in a call to speak with him off the record because we were doing a story on a support group at a New York hospital for people who believed that they had seen UFOs.
1 minute ago, UFOs from the U.S. suddenly emerge at Iran, Russia, and China. That sounds like a fascinating and intense scenario. If you're referring to a news headline or a hypothetical event, it would raise global tensions and lead to significant international dialogue. The sudden emergence of UFOs over sensitive areas like Iran, Russia, and China would undoubtedly prompt questions about national security, defense readiness, and global diplomacy. Let me know if you're thinking of a specific event or breaking news, and I can look up the latest updates. Or, if you're imagining a fictional situation or a what-if scenario, I can help explore its implications. In ancient times, large luminous objects called unidentified flying objects, UFOs, have been observed in the atmosphere for many years. Scientific analysis has shown that in the overwhelming majority of cases, these are optical effects associated with the scattering and refraction of solar rays, the observation of planets and space debris, the remains of rockets and satellites illuminated by the sun. Unidentified objects are often seen from a great distance, making it impossible to determine their true size and observe the details of their structure and action. However, there are also cases where these strange objects are seen from close range when they sat on the ground and left traces on it. UFO sightings have been reported throughout recorded history and in numerous regions of the world, raising questions regarding life on other planets and whether extraterrestrials have visited Earth. They became a major subject of interest and the inspiration behind numerous films and books following the development of rocketry after World War II. UFO sightings. UFOs have been a global enigma for more than a century. UFOs are strange and diverse, much like airborne ghosts. For decades, there have been evidence and controversies around the existence of UFOs. Some researchers argue that a UFO is an optical illusion, while others believe they exist as objects. So exploring UFO phenomena is really an interesting matter. The first report of a UFO sighting in Russia. On August 15, 1663, between 10 and 12 p.m. local time, a strong noise was heard and a huge flaming object with a diameter of at least 40 meters appeared from the north from the clear sky. That object, moving in a southerly direction, began to slide over the surface of Lake Robozero. The object's front was pierced by two flaming beams, and its sides were spewing bluish smoke. The bizarre bodies were over the water for around 1.5 hours. Peasants were aboard a boat on the lake when this dead body first appeared. The heat was so intense close to the body that they attempted to approach it. The lake's bottom, which was 8 meters deep, and the fish that were spreading out to the edges due to the fire were visible due to the body's intense light. The water's surface developed a dark, rust-like coating where the fire burned it as it was moving. The wind eventually blew this film away. The first well-known UFO sighting occurred in 1947 when businessman Kenneth Arnold claimed to see a group of 9 high-speed objects near Mount Rainier in Washington while flying his small plane. The crescent-shaped objects went like saucers skipping on water, according to Arnold, who estimated their speed to be several thousand miles per hour. In the newspaper report that followed, it was mistakenly stated that the objects were saucer-shaped, hence the term flying saucer. Rancher W.W. Mac Brazel discovered mysterious 200-yard-long wreckage near an Army airfield in Roswell, New Mexico, the same year Arnold saw the flying objects. Local newspapers reported it was the remains of a flying saucer, but the U.S. military said it was just a weather balloon, though the newspaper photograph suggested otherwise. Possible explanations for UFO sightings and alien abductions. According to the number of evidence, whether the witnesses were related to one another, the viewing circumstances such as fog, haze, or type of illumination, and the direction of the sighting, the accuracy of UFO claims has varied greatly. When someone remembers to record a sighting, most observers believe it is either an alien or even a military vessel, but it is undoubtedly controlled by intelligence. This conclusion is typically based on what is seen to be formation flying by groups of objects. Bizarre forms, unnatural, often abrupt motions, the absence of sound, and variations in color or brightness. It is well known that the unassisted perception may deceive. The planet Venus is one example of an intense light that frequently seems to move. Because they appear to follow the vehicle, astronomical objects can sometimes cause drivers to get concerned. Because they are based on an estimated size and are frequently taken against a blank sky with no backdrop objects, clouds, mountains, etc., to determine a maximum distance, visual perceptions of UFO speed and distance are likewise quite incorrect. At least some sightings are known to be hoaxes, and many visual UFO reports are believed to be explained by such optical illusions and the psychological need to interpret visuals. Great events concerning UFOs to come out in China, Russia, and Iran. From small balls of light to speeding cloud-like objects, residents of Beijing and several regions in northern China reported sighting unidentified flying objects in the sky at night, igniting widespread speculation on social media. Experts have attributed the phenomenon to SpaceX's new rocket launch for its Starlink satellites. On the microblogging platform Weibo, witnesses shared multiple accounts and videos of what they believed were unidentified flying objects. They were reported as light clusters of mist with a halo by one observer, who also noted that they eventually split into 3 smaller light spheres. Another observer stated that the luminous object, described as 3 distinct light sources arranged in an isosceles triangle, stood out vividly in the exceptionally clear and cloudless sky that night in Beijing. A third emphasized its high speed, noting how it appeared in a very short time. According to the company's website, Elon Musk's SpaceX launched 2 Starlinks on January 14th. 22 Starlink satellites were launched from California into near-Earth orbit by a Falcon 9 rocket at 0:59 a.m. local time, 4:59 p.m. China Standard Time. A second rocket then launched 23 Starlink satellites from a Florida spaceport at 8:52 p.m. local time. It's a man-made object, not a natural phenomenon, Dong Zhichuan, head of science popularization at the Nanjing Institute of Astronomical Optics and Technology of the Chinese Academy of Sciences, told Sixth Tone. With advances in the exploration of the universe and the commercialization of near-space launches, we can expect to see more of these unidentified flying objects in the future, he said. Recently, another reports of unidentified flying objects have been occurring frequently in China. In recent years, China has seen various UFOs, including ball lightning, bolide, light spots, spirals, fans, sparkling stars, flying rods, and V-shaped. UFO events occurred more often in the north of the Yangtze River, but there were exceptions. On January 10, 2006, for example, a V-shaped UFO was spotted over Nanjing. During the last century, there was also something like close encounters of the third kind in China, but it was similar to what happened in other countries and lacked reliable evidence. Astronomers thought the unusual celestial occurrence was produced by meteoroids from a Cassiopeia meteor shower that was headed toward Earth, according to newspapers at the time. The occurrence was thoroughly examined by astronomer Liu. He was able to conclude, after reviewing eyewitness accounts, that the celestial object on July 24th was most likely a man-made aircraft operating at a height of around 650 kilometers. Leo wrote his first paper about UFOs when he published his research in Amateur Astronomer. The most recent event to get noticed was on August 20th, 2011. Flight crews aboard aircraft flying over Shanghai at around 9 p.m. reported seeing odd clumps of lights in the sky. The lights were hundreds of times larger than the moon, according to the captain of one flight. A similar phenomenon was also seen by on-the-ground witnesses in the Inner Mongolia Autonomous Region, Shaanxi Province, and Beijing. This UFO is very similar to the light phenomenon on the night of June 18, 1982, and can be classified in the same category, caused by a man-made spacecraft. According to the China Newsweek, Yang Yuguang, vice chair of the Space Transportation Committee at the International Astronautical Federation, further explained that passivation treatment is a common practice by major countries to mitigate space debris, which includes 3 aspects: emptying the remaining propellant, releasing gas from high-pressure cylinders, and discharging the electrical energy from its batteries. These 3 aspects are all aimed at avoiding the danger caused by the self-explosion of the rocket's final stage, according to Yang. An unidentified aerial phenomenon was also spotted moving at high altitudes over Tehran and Rasht, capturing the attention of social media users across Iran, Tabnak reported. Azerbaijan's capital, Baku, which is 700 kilometers north of the Iranian capital, has also reported seeing an illuminated object in several types of photos and videos. Iranian officials have not yet commented on the incident, and it is still unclear where this luminous object came from. On social media, people speculate about everything from missile testing to meteorites. Some people speculate that the item may be a meteorite with unusual brightness or some other dramatic event. Others, however, suggest that it might be a piece of a spacecraft or satellite that is burning up as it re-enters the Earth's atmosphere. The Iranian army had earlier announced the deaths of 2 of its forces in the Israeli attack, who died while confronting the projectiles of the criminal Zionist regime to safeguard the security of Iran and prevent harm to the Iranian nation and interests, according to Iran's state press TV. The escalating tensions between Iran and Israel have fueled speculations that the mysterious object was a missile strike by Israel following a previous hit on Iranian military targets a few weeks ago. A UFO was spotted near Russia's Leningrad nuclear power plant in the city of Sosnovy Bor in the Leningrad Oblast, Russian media reported. Russian military officials are looking into the UFO, and while the exact nature of the object is unknown, they are at least certain that it wasn't an airplane or drone. Unidentified aerial phenomena, UFOs, often called UAPs, have been in the headlines more recently. This is most evident in reports surrounding the alleged Chinese spy balloons spotted in the US and Canada. But there have also been other UFO sightings that have focused on aliens, such as the recent discussion about the interstellar object Oumuamua and the efforts of NASA and US intelligence. In the past, a UFO was allegedly shot down by Russian air defenses in the Rostov Oblast, which is close to the Ukrainian border. The identity of the UFO was likewise unknown, although at the time it was thought that it may be a probe for some highly developed extraterrestrial species. Instead, several Russians, including legislator Anatoly Wasserman, said that Ukraine sent the drone. The origin and nature of this UFO, if the reports are correct and it actually exists, is still unknown. What do you think we should do to further the exploration of UFOs? Designing and manufacturing a new type of special telescope is very necessary. As a UFO is only met by chance and disappears rapidly, a special telescope with a small aperture may be better for observations. More such telescopes should be made and installed in different observation stations to form an observation network. Once a UFO appears, immediate and networked observations would be carried out, thereby achieving a leap in observation accuracy, depth, and quality. At the same time, more accurate quantitative analysis should be employed based on observation. What to do if you see a UFO? So you are out for a walk with your significant other and lo and behold, the two of you see some strange and amazing bright object in the sky. What do you do? My advice: watch it and enjoy the experience. If you're a good observer, then note down what direction it came from and traveled to. It would be helpful for researchers, especially if you report the sighting later. The two of you should come to a consensus about the shape of what you saw, as well as make a note of where you were and what time it was that you saw the UFO. Regarding reporting, this is where it gets a bit complicated. My advice is to call law enforcement if the UFO is landed or if there is a clear and present danger to public safety or property. So if you have ever seen UFO in the sky at night, share your views with us and also tell us what. How did you feel at that time? Make sure you subscribe to this channel with a bell notification if you enjoy watching our content. We upload some awesome stuff here which you will most certainly enjoy. Hit a like on this video and leave a comment below. See you guys in the next one.